I was growing up during the peak of Five Nights at Freddy's, so it's always been a nostalgic IP for me, but I've always been a casual fan. I know most of the lore and I've played every game in the series at least once, but I still wouldn't call myself a huge fan. When the first movie was announced, I was somewhat excited, especially with Matthew Lillard playing the one and only William Afton. And then I went to go see it, and saying I was disappointed was an understatement. I know that the majority of hardcore FNAF fans were satisfied with it, but I think that's just because none of them are cinephiles. They're just happy the movie got made and exists, and that's good enough for them, which is totally fair. I think my problem is that I went into that first movie with a cinephile mindset and not really a FNAF mindset, and it didn't really help that the movie took itself way too seriously. In reality, a Five Nights at Freddy's movie was always going to be campy and cringe, and I was just not expecting that with the first movie, which is definitely where I messed up. Aside from that, the movie just didn't have enough of the animatronics and certainly not enough of Matthew Lillard. I'm not going to go super into detail with the first movie, mostly because I really didn't like it, but also because I don't really remember much from the movie. But it felt necessary to say that first in order to then explain why I actually overall enjoyed the second movie. Don't get me wrong, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a super flawed movie, and without the actual FNAF part of the movie would fucking suck and not work at all. But as a FNAF project, it's honestly perfect, ignoring all the bad actual movie problems, such as plot holes, plot conveniences, bad dialogue, dumb character decisions, and much more stuff like that, which I'll get into in a bit. The creators of these movies claim that the first one was for the fans, and I disagree a lot. It feels like they tried too hard to cater to audiences that don't know FNAF, which is okay. You kinda have to do that in order to make money. But this second movie truly felt like it was made for the fans, not only because of the excessive and comical amount of fan service, but because it actually delivered a true FNAF experience. It's almost like the movie was written as a Fazbear Frights book, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, because it's the ideal way to tell a FNAF story, but absolutely not as a movie. At this point, I'm going to go into spoilers, so you've been warned. I think the opening scene of the movie is really good. It shows the creepiness of Matthew Lillard's character while not showing anything graphic, and shows the tragedy of what his victims had to go through. It is a bit silly that not a single parent listened to Charlotte when she was screaming about a literal kid being kidnapped, but I don't mind them having to do something stupid in order to set up something cool, which is Charlotte coming back as a marionette to possess people and get revenge on the parents who wronged her. I thought the designs of the possessed people were genuinely creepy, especially Abby towards the end. The people behind the first movie did say that they were going to make the second movie scarier, and I do actually think they accomplished that. While it's not the scariest thing I've ever seen, it is visually darker and definitely way more creepy than the first movie. Although I think the kills are tamer for some reason, like with the teacher getting his head squished by Toy Chica and Mangle eating a guy. They could have at least tried to show a little more than just nothing and hearing the sounds. But anyways, going back to the opening scene, we then see the intro sequence, which I think is even better than the first one, and the first one was pretty cool. And then we get back into the story of all of our characters, where we then encounter a pretty big movie problem that the FNAF fans won't give a shit about, which is that there's literally no main plot whatsoever. Mike, Vanessa, and Abby are all three doing random bullshit and have their own things going on, which yeah, it's realistic, but that's not how movies work. And the main plot about Charlotte escaping the original pizzeria location is basically in the background as if it's a subplot. Although I think everything going on in each subplot makes sense and is not too boring to watch. Mike is trying to help Vanessa, while Vanessa is trying to confront her dad, which leads to an awesome dream sequence involving Matthew Lillard. Meanwhile, Abby is just getting absolutely comically bullied by her robotics teacher, like a completely unnecessary and unfunny amount, but it makes sense because it's the event that causes her to reunite with the animatronics, only it's the wrong animatronics being controlled by Charlotte. I think Megan Fox, Matt Pat, and Kellen Goff were all really great as the toy animatronics and not distracting at all, even though I thought they would be at first. I was hoping for more lines from Kellen because he literally is Freddy Fazbear, so I think just having him as a little cameo Easter egg is cool, but also a little disappointing. Another problem I have with the movie that doesn't affect the FNAF side of things at all is that there are no shocking reveals in the movie, and for the little small reveals there are in the movie, they're all just in the beginning. The first one being everything with Charlotte, and of course the introduction of Michael Afton. I mean, come on, look at those eyebrows. We knew that motherfucker was Michael Afton the second we saw his ass. My only complaint about Michael is that as far as I know in the lore, he's not a straight up evil person. He's like Vanessa, where he suffers from guilt consuming him, mostly because he accidentally gets his younger brother killed by one of the original animatronics, Fredbear. So as far as his character and personality being changed, I hope it's warranted and they can do something cool with him in a future movie. I could see them setting up him as the main character of a sister location movie. Another not so shocking thing in the movie is Skeet Ulrich's cameo as Henry Emily, aka William Afton's old work partner that built most of the animatronics. I wish he had a little more to do in the movie, but as long as they give him a bigger role in the next this one, I'll forgive it. Something I actually don't mind a lot that a lot of people seem to hate is that by the end of the movie, Mike feels betrayed by Vanessa. The movie ends with him telling her to stay away from him and Abby. I think it is a bit frustrating that she didn't tell Mike about the original pizzeria or her mother or Charlotte or literally anything, but I like the end result of that. A lot of this movie is just doing something stupid in order to get something cool, which is, you know, both a bad thing and a good thing. I learned from my mistakes of watching the first movie, which is that I shouldn't be expecting an actual good movie. I should just be expecting something utterly stupid and dumb. And I think that's why I had a lot more fun with the second movie. Not only because it was way more fun and entertaining to watch than the first movie, but also because I knew exactly what I was walking into and was able to mentally prepare myself. I mean, some of the dumbest parts of the movie are the most fun parts. Like the scene where Mike literally plays Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the video game. Is it stupid? It makes absolutely no sense in the movie whatsoever. Yeah, but it was still really silly and cool and fun. And so was the Together We Are Five Nights at Freddy's 2 ass ending. It was so stupid and cringy, but again, it was fun and entertaining, and it still delivered a FNAF experience. So I actually enjoyed it, which I can honestly say about the entire movie. It may not even be close to a good movie whatsoever, but it delivers a true Five Nights at Freddy's experience, and that's pretty much all the fans wanted, and it was all I wanted going into the second movie. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.